what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. Look, if you're feeling a certain way today, let that shit go. So here we go, man. We have the Work Tuff Gear Ranger that we have to do pretty soon. We're going to do a video on this thing. And it's a Zeke Manacho design. And I'm pretty excited because I actually really like Zeke Manacho designs. I actually really like Zeke Manacho. The dude's just outstanding. We met at Blade Show 2000, whenever me and Scab and Joe went, 2020 maybe. And that was the first time I met Zeke, and the guy was just knocked down, stand up, straight up, just a good dude. And so I'm pretty excited to bring you this guy right here. This is the Little Evil. I'm not gonna lie to you, this blade is super sexy, and I hate saying that because it's named after a UFC fighter, Little Evil Pulver. And you know, you don't want to think about him and then use the word sexy, but that's sexy. That blade is beautiful, beautiful. Before we get into that blade, however, though, let's get into the sheath. The sheath, as always, the Kydex sheaths are done really, really, really great. I mean, really great. The only thing I don't like about them, even though I love the fact that this is ambidextrous, I wish the Kydex was the belt loop instead of using this. I just don't like these twisty, floppy nylon straps. I just absolutely hate these. But it does get the job done. And he has down here two holes that are great for leg strapping. So if you put a leg strap on, the flap no longer goes in, but you have to wear a leg strap around your leg. Otherwise, this thing is just, I don't get it. I don't get why they do that, because they do everything so good. You have tons of lashing, tons of mounting, tons of whatever you need. Everything is there. You have a drainage hole. That way, if you're chest high in the water and you're walking through the jungle and you got to cross a river, it's going to drain so you don't destroy your knife. Let's see. Speaking of the knife, let's get into it. So I made a mention when I first showed this knife that it's the kind of blade that, as a knife designer, when you see this blade, you go, man, I wish I designed it. It is really, really nice. And there's something really cool about this that I noticed when I first looked at it, and it's inside the fuller. You see those lines? I don't know if those are machine lines that they just didn't take out, or if Zeke purposely put them in. I hope he did, because that one little detail right there, the fact that they're still in there, I think that's amazing. I think it just looks super cool. And when you use a side grip, you know what I mean? You can hear it, right? You have something to grip on. And I think that's really awesome. I love the shape of the ricasso, how it goes into the guard. I think that is wonderful. The side profile, I absolutely love. There are things that I don't love, but it wouldn't take away from it. I think this hump right here could be just a little smaller, and the handle thickness right here could be just a little bit thinner. Like Zeke is another big guy, and I have double X hands, so for me it'll work. But if you're like a small or medium hand person, it might be a little bit uncomfortable, but definitely not unwielding. And that's the one thing is the grip width. And you can see, like on this one, it's a really fat grip. I don't know if it's going to continue that way into production, or if they do plan on tearing this down a little bit. But it's better to have it too big than too small, because you could always bring it down to your size. You can't bring it up. So that's okay. This blade, though, golly, this blade is just ridiculous. Damn, Zeke. All right, so let's see. It is a 12.7 inch overall length with a 7.3 inch blade length with a cutting edge that it says 7.3, but it depends where you're counting that blade length, because it does go back a little further. But it doesn't matter. The blade length and the cutting edge are really freaking close. Blade thickness is 0.187 inches. It is a convex grind. You can actually see that when you hit the light on it. It's just got that sweet curve. It is satin finished, and Work Tuff Gear did an amazing job with this satin finish. It's got G10 handle, and unlike some of the G10, and I talk about this all the time, like this G10, the way it's done, doesn't feel as good as this G10. I think it might be the dimpling that creates this effect where it feels like it's harder than it should feel, because some of the other ones don't have that. And Zeke was really smart not to add that into this knife. All you see is the wonderful texturing in the grip right here. You can hear it. It's wonderful. You don't need all that diamond pattern jimping on there and knurling when you have already a great grip surface. So this one actually feels in the hand way better as far as you can hear how much grip I'm getting. My thumb is just like scraping off there. It's just wonderful. Now, disclaimer, this is a used edge, used by Joe Steele over at JS Blade Crafters. I'll put a link to his channel below because you want to check out Joe. He's the one who sent these, and this thing is, oh, man, I just love looking at it. So because the edge is not a natural edge, I don't know, but what I can tell you is Joe is great with edge work, so I don't have any doubts that it's going to be sharp. And Joe used the snot out of this knife, and it is razor freaking sharp. Razor sharp. It's razor sharp. It's razor sharp to look at. It's just when when you have a kid and you see that kid get dressed for prom and they look so good for the first time in their little dirtbag lives, and you go, wow, that kid's really sharp looking today. This thing is really sharp looking. It's just so nice. Let's take it outside. All right, so while we walk over to set up, I want to notice a couple things. One is Zeke's logo, his M, and it's got like an O around it, Manacho. I think his logo is really good looking. And another thing is he didn't bring his skull crusher there to a point where it would be uncomfortable if you reached into your sheath to grab it, but your hand hit the top. When people bring them to a point, depending on the style of knife it is, this is a nice flat bottom so you can hit it. It's not crazy angled away from you, but when they're brought to a point, you can get your hand into it a little bit. I mean, not a big deal. Lots of knives are done that way, but I think he was smart to leave it the width of the blade. I think on this particular knife, I think that works out really well. All right, so first and foremost, you can tell by taking about 2 seconds to look at it that this is a fighting knife design. As far as the balance, it is weighted a little bit to the rear, so when coming around, it doesn't go around as smooth, but this thing is really designed as a fighter to be able to hold in multiple positions, and posturing is not going to really be affected that bad because it's not what it's made for. It's made for stabbing and hacking people. So this thing is brutal, man. It's brutal. Let's get some thread cuts here, and then we'll expand on that. Let's see here. Oh my, it's just so easy. So what we want to do is take our twine, give it a nice spin and make it thick. See if we can't get a pop cut. Hold it nice and tight, and just makes that pop of twine. So let's spin it up and make a nice, turn it into from a twine to a rope. Pull that nice and tight, and we'll try just a push cut. which is no problem. Remember, this isn't the stock edge, but I know that over the past like year especially, Work Tuff Gear has gotten really good with their freaking edge work. Really, really good. I mean, look at this. That's just straight up push cut. Easy go. This is a fighting knife. This isn't even made to do any of the stuff that we're going to do. It's a fighting knife. But it's going to work if this is the only knife you have on you and you're stuck in a way, or if you're opening a package. It's nice and easy. It's just going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. And then it's going to work tough. Because it's Work Tuff Gear. All right, so bam, get a nice little rip there. Just show the sharpness in the tip. Let's twist some of this stuff together. Remember, this is all just plastic. And let's try again. And wow, that was really nice. Now, I've done a couple knives where saw action doesn't work, but we are going to try and get a little saw style cut, and it's just beautiful. Beautiful. It's a fighting knife. It's a fighting knife. Guys, I'm doing like survival knife, bushcraft knife type testing. Garden hose. See, it's got the plastic liner. It's not just a nylon sheath. And this thing, it's a fighting knife. And I can't stress that out anymore. It's not really made to do all this. It's not supposed to do all this. It doesn't have to do all this. But what's happening here is I'm showing you that if you bought yourself a self-defense knife like this one, it's not just going to be good for self-defense. You could EDC this son of a bitch. You could do anything you want with it. Look at that. Golly, straight through, man. Straight freaking through. Let's try that again. That's a whole lot of layer of garden hose right there. And it's no big deal. It's like it's not even there. Fighting knife. Crazy. All right, so we got some plastic. Let's see if we can't get a nice tight spiral going. Oh, yeah. Joe did a great job with this edge. I mean, I know they come with a great edge, but Joe used it. And he honed the snot out of this thing. JS Bladecraft. All right, so check that out, man. Sweet. Look at how tight that was. Even the fly came around to check it out. It's so nice. Well, let's see. I know fighting knives are supposed to be... Hey! Damn dog. Digging a hole. Kicking dirt on my legs. Fighting knives aren't generally the knives you take into the woods to do your feathering with. But I say it all the time. If you're out and about and you have this knife on you and all of a sudden a storm comes through that you weren't expecting, or a car breaks down and you end up having to find a way to survive, and that's going to be your survival knife. Whatever knife is on you is your survival knife. Doesn't matter what kind of knife it is. This is a fighting knife. We're going to go with that side grip, but the fighting knife that you can survive with. So I can absolutely feather with this thing. I can get great curls. And that means I'm going to be able to light great fires. And if you say, well, yeah, but this isn't 90. No, it's not. But that's what this Ricasso is for. You can strike a ferro rod right here all day long and not do anything to the knife. It's going to be fine. And right there is going to give you your best spark. So, yes, you can survive with that. Let's see. What about if you catch some food and you need to get some of that skin off of there? Let's take some of this leather off of this basketball. Look at that. Fighting knife. Fighting knife. Fighting knife. Fighting knife. It's beautiful. So let's take off. We got leather. We got rubber. We've got whatever that material is that they do that frickin' like cross pattern in there. Hey, stop digging. Man, she's digging so far I could smell orange chicken. All right, so that's right there. It's pretty nice. Let's do more. So you might be saying, well, if it's a fighting knife, then why are you doing tasks made for a survival knife? Well, moron, because nobody volunteers to let me show them, to let me show everybody how it's a fighting knife. Nobody wants to get in the way of these because people are smart. So what we're going to do is we are just going to show the absolute toughness, resilience, ability to hold an edge, ability to just destroy, right? Because if this is a hard piece of wood, this is Arizona, this is a hard piece of wood. If I can hit this, I can hit this, right? There's no difference between a humerus and this thing. So let's just see what we can get out of here. It's a fighting knife. I am choked way down beyond the bubble grip, way down. And this finger well right here, it's your pinky well, is really nice to put a middle finger in, because he accentuated that well so perfectly. You can choke way down. And because this is square, it's not digging into any part of my hand. Good job, Zeke. It's a fighting knife. This thing is awesome. So, Work Tuff Gear and Zeke Minacho came together to bring you the Little Evil. This is the Gen 2. I'm going to put a link down below to the Little Evil page. I mean, if you're walking in the mall one day or you're going to a restaurant and you see a chef with broad shoulders carrying a badass knife, it's probably Zeke Minacho. Thank him. Give him a high five. Thank him. I'm noticing right here, it looks almost like a swell. Like it's thinner here than it is here. Almost like it thickens out. And what that does is creates A, better downforce, B, better shock resistance. So in the design, that would be something really well put into. And this grind right here, how it opens up. And it's probably why I'm not getting a ton of shock, because the shock absorption right here from that thickness, that change in width is really well thought out. Really well thought out. So I'm digging it, man. This is a really cool knife. Thanks for Joe for sending me 3 beauties to play with. I had a whole lot of fun. Zeke Minacho, this thing kicks ass. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.